Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
What's up folks, my name is Sir Medieval, and finally we have some information about the hopefully upcoming steampunk themed MMORPG called AscentInfiniteRealm's housing system. Probably not one of the first details we'd like to know about the game, and granted, it's not a lot of news, but it's one of a handful of teaser details we've been seeing since about May of 2018. It does not include a release date or testing phase information of any kind, but despite that, let's go ahead and get into it. On December 6th, the community manager Bluehole began discussing some aspects of the housing system in Ascent. They began by talking a little bit about obtaining resources. Starting with, while exploring air, you will come across resources that can be gathered, including seeds that can be cultivated in your residence area that will bring bigger rewards after a while. This can be done in the form of crops or even dropping fish into your private ponds to begin fish breeding. They also showcased a little bit of mining activity, which will be more than likely very straightforward in the sense that you'll probably just be hitting a hotkey to activate it and watching your character swing, alongside the woodcutting activity. I'm really hoping these activities aren't dependent on an energy system that for some reason would mirror Arcade. When I look at this game, I can't help but get that kind of vibe. In terms of gathering, as long as it's not somehow tied to a cash shop, I'm sure we'll all be completely fine with however it turns out. Every homeowner has several available plots enabling a steady supply of resources. It's up to you if you want to highly specialize or get a little bit of everything. Bluehole lists the following plot types available to us: fishing ponds, mines, trees, crop farms, animal farming, and maybe more. The next screenshot showcases a little bit about the farming side of things, which does look pretty impressive, I must say. The way they're showcasing all of this, it seems like both the crafting and the gathering aspects might end up being a pretty big part of Air's economy. I'd love to jump into this aspect pretty heavily if it works out. In part 2 of the Residence teaser, Bluehole shows what a standard house interior may look like. Part 1 was specifically about acquiring resources, while part 2 consists of, wow, those are nice looking floors. I'm getting Final Fantasy nostalgia all over again with that. Part 2 is about how you put these resources to use. Our estates don't consist solely of dwelling and farmland, but also a well-equipped workshop. You will find workbenches for crafting armor, weapons, potions, and food alongside an engineering workshop for improving our airships. A few screenshots are showcased to give a better visual image of what this will look like. The first one shows some of the cooking profession, which I have to say right now I'm really praying the final product looks something similar to Monster Hunter. That game has some insanely good looking food. Those cats could really cook. The next one looks like it might be a little bit of alchemy. Alongside cooking, it could prove pretty useful for a lot of different aspects, most notably for dungeons and raidings in terms of food buffs, potions, elixirs, etc. Looking forward to finding out more about this one. And finally, the last one into what I can only assume to be the blacksmithing profession. You can see a display of armor in the background, which if you're actually able to wear that does look pretty sick. You might end up having a case where armor and weapons crafted through this profession might end up being more effective or just as effective as dungeon gear and more. So make sure to keep an eye on it. And that, folks, is all we have access to for AscentInfiniteRealm news at the moment. There are some other teasers to look into if you're interested that showcase some screenshots and brief details of the game, including the single-player dungeon, which looks to be very similar to the Tower of Lost Ark mechanic-wise, or even the details about characters / lore in the world. I highly recommend checking them all out. And I'll be sure to leave a link in the description below, and with that, thank you all so much for watching and hope you have a wonderful night or day, and farewell.